the weight, the passion, the dedication of the adventure. This is part 5 with Craig, Richard, which are doing several nights, including myself. This is a 6-night episode on the Big Pit Adventure. The good times, the down times, this is the place to be when it comes to hardcore carving. And these are just bottom bites. I think we've got
with a wide gate or attached to
scuffle the bottom up, place your lead, and when everything settles, everything's hidden because
his head off. Or any little bits of silk, leaves, etc.
Wow, this is it. This is the start of the week, what I'm doing on the Big Pit. I've already done 2 nights, and so we're gonna. I've moved into this peg now, and basically I was fishing in that peg just around the corner, fishing out to about there. But now, obviously, it's Sunday now, and the lake is empty, so I've got 2 rods just by them Canadian geese along that bar. Come round here, I've got one in the bay area which is just down there, and I've got another one just off that bar, as you can see. So yeah, this is the adventure, and Craig's down. He come down last night and he's in a peg just round the corner there. Wow, that's the 3rd night over, and as you can see, the sun is out. It's now 5:30 in the morning, and it's been really, really quiet last night. There was not even a fish jumping, no action at all. It's the bay area. And I've just been looking and looking and looking. Still no fish. As you can see, that sun is probably one of the best days we've had since we've been on the lake. I think it was all quiet for Craig as well. As you can see, Craig is just in that gap there. You can just see his rods. So it's just a matter of, I think, waiting until bite time's over and just having a walk round the lake and trying to track them down. After setting all the traps last night, I stayed up until at least 1 o'clock last night, then got back up about 3:30. Nothing to report really, still slow. Seen a couple of fish over the right hand rock, so we'll just have to see. It's roughly about 6:05 now, so we've still got time for a bite. As you can see in the background, the sun is out, so I think this is definitely going to be a better day for swatting the fish with the sun. It has been overcast for the past 3 days. We ain't had that much sun, so we'll wait till we roughly about 10, 11 o'clock, by time's over, then I'll have a walk round as planned. So maybe I'll move. I still think I will have a chance for the night. We'll just have to see how things pan out. I'm definitely going to 100% walk around, get off some trees and try and find them. And even if I move just for the day, I'll come back. That's my plan anyway. So we'll see how today.
Here we are once again on the big pit. After a couple of nights, managed to catch up with Ed. We're fishing in different spots than what we started from Friday. So yeah, here we are, we're down here, and we've seen fish milling around on the spots that we've picked out. So hopefully we should be all good for some action tonight. It's been quiet, there's not much been out hooked yet, but even still we're hunting them down. We've moved around a lot. We're spending quite a lot of time down here on this session. We're going to do the rest of the week, so you know, what's the point in just sitting around camping on spots? You might as well make your time moving around and hunting them. And even still, if you don't find them, you're still learning the swims that you're fishing. So if it means having to fish every swim on this lake, we will do by the end of the week. So there you go.
Yeah, well, we're into obviously it's Monday now. I've been here since Friday. I did leave the lake for a couple of hours today to go home, get changed, get freshened up, and obviously Craig's done the same. So we've decided basically to come up this top end where there's been a lot less pressure over the last probably 2 months, Craig, or something like that.
Yeah, not many people have fished down here, have they?
No,
they all tend to stick to certain spots.
Yeah, and that's,
we know, don't we? That it's getting proper pressure.
Yeah, it's getting really pressured down the bottom end. So I did obviously the blog the bit of filming what I did last night. You'll see where I was fishing. I was fishing off a point. I did mention your peg, Craig, in that bit of filming what I did, but I didn't manage to catch up with you because obviously, you know, I did say to the guys basically it's hard to do filming and hunt these fish down, plus move your gear around the lake. So there is bits of filming which is going to be obviously missing or not even recorded really, due to of us just trying to get onto these fish. You know, a week.
It's been hard work.
Yeah, it's been hard work. A week sounds a long time, but it's really not for a hard lake like this.
Well, you would have been putting more than a week in.
Yeah.
You came down here, was it Friday? Was it Friday morning?
Yeah, Friday. And nothing's happened yet, but we're on new spots. Craig's seen a couple of signs of fish, ain't you, mate?
Yeah, earlier down here in this bay there was about 4 or 5 fish.
Yeah.
So hopefully we should be in with a bit of action tonight.
Mate. Yeah, hopefully.
It does look like it's the better position on the lake.
Mate, it does.
You know,
And
it's very quiet. It hardly gets fished. So therefore we've got a lot of advantages on our side. We're doing something different now. You know, we're trying to, you know, be a bit different than everybody else. Coming away from the pressure.
Pressure.
That's it.
Yeah, mate. Yeah,
You know.
and we've got to now really. Like you've seen in the blogs before, you know, we did do a lot down the bottom end, and we was having results from the fishing, but the lake has, you know, lake's dropped in definitely a good 2 foot, mate.
Oh yeah, the water level's dropped proper.
Some of them spots what we was obviously fishing, they've dried up a little bit and we ain't really gone back on, but it's mainly due to, like Craig said, the pressure down there. So we're moving about. I did fish this top end back in 2013, mate, but I didn't really have much out of it. Richards fished it quite a little bit.
He's had a couple of fish out this top end, but it's nice to just. It seems like a new lake, mate, over here. To be quite honest with you.
I do really like these spots. I moved over here, didn't I? I think it was not the last session, the session before. Can you remember when I was?
You did.
I was getting a little bit.
That was again, mate. It was the.
I was getting a bit of pressure from different anglers.
Yeah,
we're not going to that, but basically, I decided to move away from the pressure, and I came down here. And quite honest with you, it really did feel, like a right move, and I didn't have enough time really to put into here. I was just finding, really and truly, I was just finding my feet. So yeah, we definitely do know where the spots are down here.
Yeah.
We know where fish have come out, have been captured from different spots around here. But this side of the lake tends to get left alone, don't
Yeah,
it?
it does.
I think it's generally due down because people want to just drop the tackle
And just go.
out of the car and walk no more than 10 yards. Down here, it's a trek.
I don't know how many
you know what
times
I mean?
I've carried my gear around.
You get
here,
me,
mate.
yeah. But this is what it's all about, man. I'm not camping.
Yeah.
I'm not camping on one spot for a week and not catching. If it means me having to move around every day and fish every swim on this lake until we find them big uns, and that's what we've got to do.
That's what it's all about, ain't it, mate?
That's what it's all about. We've got to be
Yeah.
different, and you've got to have, you've got to have the confidence in yourself. If you're just sitting there on spots and it's not happening, your confidence drops. You're not enjoying your fishing. At the end of the day,
And this-
you know what I mean. You want to go home. We know people have done it. So says, "Oh, we're coming down here for a week. They've not caught for 3 days and gone home."
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And
that's
what's that
right.
all about? You don't go home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You move. You know what I mean? You make the most of your time. If it means moving, then you move, innit? What's
Yeah.
the point in sitting there on a spot if you're not catching it? You might as well use that 4 hours to move somewhere else.
Yeah, you can't.
You know what I mean? We've been up trees, we've walked around this lake,
I've
we've been up
nearly
from
fell out of you.
4 in the
I've nearly-
morning.
I've nearly
You know
fell
what I
out of
mean?
you. Telling you.
So we're not skylarking, we want these big uns, and this is what we're after. We know we can fish areas where
gonna
we'll
get
probably get, doubles,
Which is nice,
you know what I mean? But
you have
we're
to
not
target.
we've had them. We
We're
don't want
hunters,
them. We
yeah.
want the big uns. This is what it's all about. It's the hunt for the big ones, and this is what we want. More travelling than the pike he has this week, seriously, in a year. You know what I mean?
And there we have it, all the barrels loaded up, ready to go. Got the essentials, obviously the rods, the buzzers, a little bag, the unlucky mat, and we've got the net. So we're going to make our way down to there where I've just seen a few fish and try and get one out.
So there you go. We've moved from the top end. I've come down here. I've stuck the rods out, and I've roughly been in around about 5.5 hours now. I've seen 2 fish, 2 commons jump out on the left hand side of the swim. Quite a bite on it, but absolutely nothing at all. I do think that the lake has come to a time where it's just shut off from actually feeding. I've noticed a couple of things really over the last 5 nights really about the lake. I've noticed there's a lot of air coming from the bottom. Not just in one area really, all on the lake. Yesterday, Black Car, when that sun was out, you could just see it everywhere, just coming up. And I reckon, to be quite honest with you, I think the oxygen levels are quite low as well in here. So I'm going to reel these rods in now, make my way back up to Craig, and just go from there really. And I'm again just keep looking, having another look round. It's quite hard for me to sit behind the rods. Just fishing really, I've got to go and have a look, and I've got to see fish in the area. Like I say, I've seen them 2 fish, but really not what I'm fishing for really. I'm fishing for the bigger fish in here. So yeah, the hunt is on still, and it's time to reel these in now, make my way back up, move back up to me original swim what I fished last night, leave the rods out, walk all the way around the lake, and hopefully I'll be seeing 1 or 2 of the decent ones. And I'm still enjoying it, even though I'm not catching. Some people would probably be going mad by now, 5 nights on the blanking and seeing fish jump over your baited areas, then you fish them and you don't catch. But it's all a part of the big adventure, and that's what we're down here for. So hopefully by between 6-7 o'clock tonight, hopefully I'll be settled in to another swim for another night ahead on the big pit.
There we have it. That's the new peg what I've just moved to, and previous to that I was all the way over there, and I was casting out just to over there. But no, fresh swim on a nice spot really, just out there. So we'll see how it goes. I've been in probably about an hour now, nothing yet, but I've got all in good tentions of trying to get a take, if not land one on the bank. So then I'm going to move back onto the baited spot where Craig is a bit later on and catch up with Craig again. So all on the go here at the big pit. Keep moving round, keep looking and more looking. Keep climbing trees and trying to track them down. That hot, it's like bath water, so yeah, really good this is. So there you go, that's what I've just picked off the bar. Absolutely natural food for the carp. Mega rich in protein. It's always good to look what's on the bottom of the lake and what they're feeding off. Well, after moving off the peg over there, I went back up to Craig and decided to put the rods back in position at the top end, and I didn't cast them out because, to be quite honest with you, I was due for a little walk round. So I've put them all in position just up there, ready to cast back out. I've come walking round, I've climbed a few more trees, and I've come to this bottom end. And to be quite honest with you, when I was actually over there, I did see a couple of fish roll on the back end of the bar. Now, this bar is probably about 70 to 75 yards out, and it has done big fish. And it's just worth, it's always been on the back of my mind to actually, have a couple of hours on it. I keep meaning to do it just as I'm packing up on a Sunday and dropping for a few hours, but always had to get off early. So because I'm doing the week on here, well, it was the week, it's halfway through the week now, I thought I'll give it, you know, a few hours. All I've done is just put a few baits really in a PVA bag, crushed them all up so they're all nice and crushed up, and you know, packed the PVA bag really tight and just flicked it out, put a marker rod out there, got it all set up right on the point. It's like a hump. At the back of it's about 14 foot, then it comes right up to 10 foot, then it don't actually go flat, it slopes back this way, it goes like 10 and it goes 8, then it comes right down then to 14 foot, so it's a nice little spot. It don't get too much pressure, so you know, I just feel that it's time to give it a little go really. I've changed sort of the bait situation. I was fishing on some tuna, just pop-ups, the ultralights which are going to be out. These are just little ultralight pop-ups, if you can see, and I've had a couple of takes on other lakes with these, but I ain't had nothing off the big pit, and we've got some of the washed out pink ones which we've been using as well. Craig's been doing these. Craig's got a lot more involved in these baits. He's actually rolled these himself, but they look good, and you know, they're coming on a treat, so they'll be out soon as well. You know, obviously with me and Craig, we've got our differences in colours and texture, so we've got an agreement where I supply him and you know, the ultralight base mix, and you know, he's going to start rolling it up and adding little you know, just a bit of his input into these into the ultralight. So yep, everything's going well on the bait scene. You know, we're pushing forward, and you know, the future is obviously looking good. Hopefully we'll get a take off them. You know, I can't see why not. Like I say, colour difference is just the colour of actually the bait, you know. So we're doing all sorts of, you know, testing and trialling with different colours. I'm also trialling this week. This is the stick mix really. God, if you could smell it, it's, you know, it's high quality fish grade fish meal. You've got aloe 30 in there, you've got a bit of a robin red, you know, you've got all sorts of different fish meals in there, all compact really. There's over 10 different fish meals just in one stick mix. That's why I'm only having one range of stick mix, and that's it. You know, you pay for the quality really. But that's coming out. I'm not sure if the camera can actually see that, but that's it. It's like a fine dust, you know. You can wet that up with a bit of the salmon oil, which we're going to start doing, and obviously the aloe 30, which it's been discontinued, but I have got hold of another version of that, so that's all good for the future. So that's the stick mix. Then this is my own little signature really. I'm not selling this. This is just my own little signature. Now, these are just normal bottom baits. You've got the crab bottom bait there, and we've got the aqua squid, which is just here. So you might not see really the difference, but you've got that's the crab and that's the aqua squid. Now, what I've done with these for my own fishing, which I've been fishing, you know, for years and years, I've sort of matured these baits. Now, when I mean by maturing, I've actually put a coating on them, which I've been doing for a long time now. I normally put a coating of glug. Now, my glug, what I do is a bit different to you know, glug to me is not just liquid. You know, the glug what actually I do with these is for my own fishing. I don't really sell it. It's my own little touch. And it's produced me a lot of decent fish, and more than on the subject of decent fish, you know, quick bites really, just like what I'm doing now. Just come down, you know, set up for a couple of hours, chuck a bait out what's been matured, and it's sort of on the same term as when you cook hemp seed and you cook party blend, and you let it, you know, get all the natural goodness out of it, and it comes out the bait. Now with this, I'll put a coating on with these baits, so there's been a lot of preparation in these baits, not just putting coating over it. It's a certain amount of liquid gone in, a certain amount of attractor, and a certain amount of powder. I'm not sure if you can see, but on the camera you'll probably pick it up, just like there's little bits of powder. Now that's all sorts, that's 4 different fine fish meals, attractor powders, which are a very fine milled down powder which stick onto the bait. Now why I'm going on about this subject, because even though I supply baits obviously to the fishing guides, you can add all your own touches to this. We don't actually sell the powders to do this, but with a little bit of research and a little bit of input from yourselves, you can easily add your own little touches to it. So really good tip for you, always have a hook bait which is obviously buoyant and obviously what you're happy with, and change it up a little bit with your own little tactics by adding a bit of this, a bit of that, high powder, high strength attractor, which is really a quick bite system where you go onto a lake and you have quick bites. Now if I was fishing like a fishery and I wasn't on the hard pits what I'm fishing at the moment, I can 99% to 100% guaranteed I'd get a take off them. So you can actually see how much they are absolutely caked in attractor, and these are just bottom baits. The thing with bottom baits, you can't really do this with pop-ups, and the reason why is because when you start glugging pop-ups, they become heavy, and obviously the bite goes out of them. You can glug them to a certain amount. You can probably get in my pop-ups, obviously I put the attractor in the base mix when I roll it up, but then what I do else, I glug them after. But how I glug them is I just put them in a pot, keep turning the pot, a big pot. What I do, keep turning it until at least a mil has gone in. Now how I know a mil has gone in is I cut one open, you can see from inside outwards, you can see the lighter patch, then you can see the darker patch. Now that skin around the bait is that is where your attraction comes. That's where it goes into the water, goes to the bottom and actually just seeps, and that's where all your feeding signals come off. So getting into really detailed when I mention about it's a bit like fermenting. You ferment your particles, you soak your particles, you make them all sticky and gluggy, and you get all the goodness coming out of the seed, and it turns into fermentation. It's like with tiger nuts. If you've got tiger nuts and you ferment them, the natural sugars what come out of tiger nuts is absolutely fantastic. Them feeding signals are very good, very good signals to have on your bait spot or your little spot where you've just found, or you've bummed out and you found a bit of gravel and you're putting that attraction on that spot. So I just wanted to touch on that subject, because I think a lot of people just smell these baits and go, that's a nice bait, but at the end of the day we're all humans and we've all got senses, but it's a total different sense to what the fish want. You can have all your pineapple ones and your plum ones. I do most of the range, to be quite honest with you, or will be doing most of the range in these ultralight pop-ups. Once we get these sorted, these are still testing. There's a lot more work got to be done to them, but that's what it's all about, testing. I mean, like I say, I'm on my 5th night now, and I'm struggling myself on the big pits, to be quite honest with you, but that's what it's all about. It's a challenge. Some weeks I can come down here and have 3 fish because I've spotted them and the fish are in the mood. But what I mean about when we mean about not catching this is why I've added this bit of footage into this, week-long session, because I'm doing all what I can to get onto fish. and I'm sort of matching, different puzzles up together, putting them together and thinking, well, the fish are over there and they're going on that bar and they've got to pass that bar to get to that bar. So I'm doing all different times. I might be missing the fish at times, but I will, and hopefully get to the stage where I say to myself, well, I know that them fish pass that, that bar on a certain time, and it's more of a bigger picture then to yourself, but it's very hard to get down to that detail if you don't trial. So it's trial and error. So like I say, come on the bar, move from over there, move from up there. I've moved. This is my third time I've moved today, and it's a great way when you ain't got a spot going to actually learn and develop the bigger picture of lakes, pits, fisheries, everything really. If you go to a certain fishery every week in, week out, and you're fishing the same spot, and it's great, you're catching, and obviously you go, then your catch rate goes slowly goes down. This is when people go, oh, I'm not sure, where to fish now, because it's the way that they've actually gone about the fishing. And most good anglers, and most of the best anglers in the country are always have a plan A, plan B, and plan C really. Even though I might move off my bait spot and someone might drop into that spot, by the time I get back round there, I just think it's a good idea to always have three plans really. So, a little tip, move around the lake, get to know it, mark her out. If you're doing a 24-hour session on the lake and you've got that bit of time Sunday, everyone, most people will tell you on the big pit, that they always see me with a marker float on a Sunday. Normally I fish Friday till Sunday, one of the busiest times on the pit, and they're always say, I'm always going around with a marker float. It don't matter how many times I walk around the lake, I always find new little spots, new little areas, unpressured, unfished, and this is what gives you the tip really of catching them, elusive fish, the big, dark ones really, what don't come out or never been hooked, or, someone you'll show a picture to someone and some old timer who's been on here probably 6-7 years and go, that fish was out back in 2001, 98, do you know what I mean? And then you start clicking and thinking, well, you've done something right. Now what you've done right really is what some people don't know what they're doing right. Now when I mean by that, some people come onto a peg, get a PVA bag, tie a PVA bag on, make sure the pop-up's all sorted, do all the right little things really, and just cast into the middle of nowhere. So there you go, that's a bit about the hook baits, which obviously I've been using all different types of hook baits, which I've just shown you, and hopefully that'll give you just a bigger picture of sort of my tips on the fishing really, and more so just to help people out, just to give them a bit of an incentive to try different stuff. And but it's all about boosting your hook baits and being different to the guy next to you, to the guy 3 to 4 to 13 pegs up or the other side of the lake, and it gives you a real edge, and it's given me definitely a real edge over the years of being carp fishing. So there you go.